Okay. Do I look stupid? I don't know if you can see my like hair braids. I feel like this looked like a little bit better with these lights on, but I don't really want to sit with these lights on, you know? Like, that probably looks better though. Okay. Hey! Ew, I hated that. Okay. Hi, my name is Miranda, as you all should know by now. And, I'm kind of in a bummed out mood today, so we're just gonna chat a little bit. Also, don't worry, that light is freaky, but it's gonna continue. Don't worry. Sorry, I'm like yelling. Don't worry. I am still technically in the same parking lot as normal. I'm just in a different section because the parking lot, the theater parking lot that I am normally in, it's fucking crowded today because it's Friday, I want to say the 22nd, and it's like a big weekend release with Gladiator 2 and Wicked. It's like fucking stacked. It's crazy. So I parked over here because in theory, I'm gonna see less people. Except for there's like a restaurant like across from where I'm sitting where people keep like walking out and stuff. And they're definitely seeing me talk to myself, but it's fine, you know? I always just feel silly about it because it's like, who the fuck do I think I am, you know? Like, you can see those car lights are crazy. Anyways. It doesn't matter. I don't know why I'm so, like, embarrassed. I'm like, these people are never actually interacting with me. Why am I humiliated? I don't know, because it feels like I have, like, a big ego. Like, people want to listen to me. But it's like, no. It's 4 of y'all, and I love y'all. Anyways. You would expect, oh my god, why don't you, okay, you would expect that I would be really fucking excited that it's super crowded in the theater today, and I am, and I drove all the way out here, but I don't know if I'm actually gonna go see anything, because I've been having kind of a weird time. Oh, you can hear the rain again. I've been having kind of a weird time, and I was supposed to go hang out with a friend, and I got canceled on, which is totally fine. I'm the worst about plans, and I end up canceling on people all the time, you know? Like, it happens. So I'm not, like, upset about it, and I think I'm kind of, in a way, relieved. But now it's just, like, I'm kind of bummed that I don't even want to be, like, I don't even want to go, like, sit and, like, go see anything. I just kind of wanted to sit alone. I just had already gotten, like, completely ready to leave. I would have stayed home, but I had, like, I showered and, like, because I've been baking all day. I made, well, not today, but the other day, I made some edible cookie dough that's, like, without eggs, and I, like, cooked the flour because you're not supposed to just, like, eat raw flour. I'm not a big cookie dough person. We just didn't have any, like, marshmallows, and I was wanting to do, like, we have graham crackers, so I wanted to do something I could, like, dip the graham crackers in. So I was going to, I was going to, like, do the, like, s'mores thing. Y'all ever do that? My mom would make those sometimes when I was, like, middle school, I want to say. Maybe high school, but I think it's more of, like, a middle school thing. I wonder if the rain's gonna be on and off, because that'll be nice. I'm gonna try to, like, I'm gonna have to end up, like, stopping and starting these because I keep making videos where I record too long of clips that they, like, it's just annoying. Anyways, I'm not a big cookie dough person, but I was like, I'll make this to, like, put on graham crackers, and it's pretty solid. I have been baking a lot for a reason. We'll get to it. But I made some peanut butter cookies, classic. And for the first time, I didn't even try one yet, but I made, like, thumb drop cookies, like the Australian ones, where it's like this, it's not quite like a sugar cookie, but it's like a nice, soft cookie that you, like, put your thumb, and then you will put jam, or, like, fruit preserve. I did raspberry jam, because that's all I had. I keep feeling like I'm yelling, like I can really, like, hear that my voice is going away. I hate this side of my face, and I realize I'm gonna be editing this, and I'm gonna be like, damn bitch, you're ugly as fuck. Sorry. I'm like gonna turn. Anyways. What was I saying? Yeah, I made the thumb drop cookies, and I started to make the chocolate like crinkle cookies, but I decided to, I was just tired, but also it's better if you leave, it's better if you leave the dough to sit in the freezer for even just like an hour, but honestly like a day, a night, even more if you really want. They'll just end up better apparently. So I have that in the freezer. So I've been baking all day. And I was gonna go hang out with this friend. He canceled, honestly probably for the better. I also canceled on somebody else today because I had a bad feeling about it. I had a really bad feeling about it. Really is dramatic. Well, there's kind of like a reason. And it makes me sad. It makes me really sad. So I was kind of shitty about how I canceled though, and I feel bad about it. But I was, a little while ago, I texted one of my old friend's roommates. We were like kind of homies, but we never hung out one-on-one. But I texted one of my old friend's roommates asking about, I had watched him like trying to prepare to like pass a drug test, and my mom had to take a drug test. She took it today. Don't know if she passed or not, but she had to take one soon, and obviously had not spent enough time. So I texted him. I was like, "Oh, what were you using?" Because apparently, like, yeah, whatever, doesn't matter. I had oh, this is sad. I had texted him that, and then he like a little bit later like Snapchats me. What is this car doing? Just like pulling up. What up? There's just a car that's very slowly moving, and I don't know what the fuck they're doing, but it looks like it could be like an undercover cop car, and I don't want to deal with that dog. I'd just be sitting here. And having a good time. Okay, whatever. It was weird though. Okay, fuck, where was I? Oh, yeah. And so I've distinctly like made it a point to I'm almost fully off of Snapchat. There's like one person I'll answer on there, and I don't even really want to anymore, and I don't know why I do. Snapchat's stupid. I'm a fucking adult, and I also don't really love Instagram DMs. I just have been giving people I wish to speak to my phone number. This summer, it's always kind of been there, but this summer I was like, this isn't serving me, because I've been going through like a lot, and then it would be, I didn't have anybody in my life, like at all. I mean, I barely had my family, and I had parts of my family that like wished to death upon me, and like it's been rough, and I lost all my friends during this last relationship I was in, and I'd been kind of making friends, but not really, because most of the people I thought were gonna be friends with me ended up being weird, and like tried to hit on me and tried to like sleep with me, but that's not what I want. That's not what I need. I cannot imagine myself intimate with anyone besides my ex-boyfriend. Like, I can't. I'm not at a place where I can imagine that or want that at all. I don't. The idea of someone looking at me in a romantic way like makes me feel nauseous, because it just feels wrong, and I know it shouldn't. We'll get there. Whatever. That's a whole other topic. Anyways, going through such a bad time and really not having anybody, and then when having the few people that tried to come in my life doing shit like that, and just, they weren't real friends, and they weren't really there for me. They were just trying to take advantage of my sadness, I guess, and just that I was in a vulnerable spot. I don't know. Not that these people are bad people, I don't know, it just, basically every single person I would do like Snapchat streaks and like Snapchat, it wouldn't be conversation at all. It was just selfies back and forth, and it was meaningless and hollow. And it's strange to be so fucking alone and then still getting constant like messages, but they're not messages and they're not friends, because they aren't friends of mine. They are just people we send pictures back and forth. Like, I don't know them, they don't know me. I don't know, it was meaningless, and it made me feel bad, and I have almost 100% cut it out. And I'm the only reason I even installed the app is for this one person who I think I'm gonna I actually basically have. Anyway, I just mostly for the memories, but I don't go on it. Anyways, I had texted this person asking them about that, and then I had gotten a notification that they Snapchatted me, and I had texted them, and I found this very strange. So I answered on Snapchat because I still have my notifications on, so if it's somebody that I actually like have interest in speaking to, I will like message them back and be like, hey, I'm not really doing this. And that's not even it. That's not even fully true, because there are people that I would like still probably speak to if they actually make conversation with me, but they don't actually make conversation with me anyways. So, you know, why does it matter? Which, I don't know. But I found it very strange that he Snapchatted me. So I'm like, hey, I don't really fuck with Snapchat anymore. And he was like, well, what do you prefer? And I was like, well, my phone, because you already have my phone number, but like, I guess I'll suffer through Instagram DMs, because I know not everybody, A, I'm not comfortable giving my number out to most people, and B, I know not everybody's comfortable giving their number out, which is okay. But I found it strange, but he starts DMing me on Instagram, and remember, we aren't close at all. But you know, I need friends, and we got along, and it was a fun, entertaining time. I think we could be actual friends. And it was like kind of okay conversation, just small talk, nothing super interesting. And then last night, was it last night or was it the other night? I think it was last night. I'm so bad at Instagram DMs because I just get overwhelmed, because I did spend a lot of time responding to all of like the requests I would get. So now I have people that still message me, and then I feel bad for taking so long to answer that I keep pushing it off, and then it's a whole thing. And then suddenly when I answer people, they start answering back quickly, and it's like, oh yeah, they're expecting like a real conversation, and I would love to give these people conversation. I used to be really good at it, but I used to be a really big extrovert, but since this entire relationship, I've become more introverted. Is it because of the relationship, or is it me maturing? It's the real question. Because I feel like, whoa, I have so much to learn in this world. I'm so not mature in so many ways, but I feel like I have aged 5 fucking years. Anyways, God, I'm going off on tangent. This is probably so hard to follow. I get we're gonna say last night, because I think it was last night. I get a DM where I finally like checked it, because I hadn't answered in like 18 hours. Again, I'm overwhelmed. I've been trying to get on Instagram more lately, but I was like, hey, sorry, you know, and he was like, well, I just missed you, and it's like, oh, that's sweet. How are you doing? And then it's like more small talk, and I'm high as fuck at this point, so it's the middle of the night. I'm high out of my mind, and he's talking about how he's all home alone and he's so lonely and like I could come hang out, and I was like, I'm not good to drive. And he was like, well, I can come get you, and I was like, it's kind of late. And so we start talking about making like plans, which I did bail, and I feel bad, but I had a bad feeling because we make plans, and how it ends is he sends me a kissy face emoji. So I don't think it's a good idea. I don't think it's a good idea. I think I'm going to get myself into a bad situation. Not that I think this person would ever do anything bad, because I don't. My gut is telling me not to, because that was sent and I was like, this is not what I'm interested in. This is not what I want at all. Like, I am so, that is so distant from anything I want. It's crazy how much you have to explain that to people. It sucks how aggressive I have to be with people for them to know that I am so not interested in that at all. That I do not. I don't know. It's also like, I know I have like a flirty personality, so it's not helpful. I don't even know if I have a flirty personality. I think I have a personality. I feel like I'm a very polarizing person though. People tend to like be in love with me without knowing me very, very quickly, or they hate my guts. Maybe it's the Gemini stellium I have. Sun, Venus, and Mercury, for any astrology people out there. I don't know that much about it, but I know my chart, so. Anyways. I have a bad feeling about it, which I don't want to like admit to this person, because I don't want them to think that I think that they would do anything wrong. Because it's not that. I'm not assuming anything. It's just, I'm trying to get better about listening to my gut and like my instinct. The big issue though is when it comes to I have very bad paranoia problems, like very bad paranoia problems. I'm sure there are people that are definitely worse about it, but I'm very paranoid, and it's awful. It's awful. So it's hard to know what is my intuition and what is anxiety or paranoia. So that's a fun question I have to ask myself. But then when you have to sit and ask yourself that, no matter what, you're overthinking it. So if it is your if it's your intuition and you start questioning it, you're gonna convince yourself it's not. So it's hard to know when to follow and when to just like go, no, you're just anxious. I don't know. I went with my instinct though today, or intuition. I don't know what the right word should be. I'm nervous and I don't want anything bad to happen. I just want things to be okay. I'm so tired of things not being okay. I'm so ready for things to be okay. It's really, really, really fucking exhausting that things aren't okay most of the time. I'm so ready. Anyways, sorry, this is like sad. I'm just I didn't come in here with a plan. I don't know, I'm just a little too bummed to go. I know that if I went in, I would go and I would have a great time, you know? And I don't know why I can't get myself to. I've just been in a weird headspace all day though, I think. Hold up. Okay. So let's just do a topic switch, I guess. Why won't this stay? Okay. topic switch. We're kind of still in the same area. I think we're just going to be talking about mental health and like, I don't know what's on my mind lately. I have a therapist, but you guys are my other therapists. No, I wouldn't say y'all are therapists. Y'all are just, you guys are my friends. And I'm confiding in you. So don't be mean. I mean, you can be mean. Like, you know, I'm not gonna control you, you know? But don't be unnecessarily mean. If it's deserved, it's deserved. I can accept that. Anyways, this is stupid. So last time I went to therapy, speaking of, my therapist, she looked at me and went, okay, to go back just a little bit, I have a laundry list of diagnoses. I've had different doctors and different therapists just throw so many diagnoses at me. It's, my chart is crazy. But one of the big ones, the one I talk about more, because like the two big ones that I'm like medicated for are I have ADHD, and you know, I don't want to be one of those bitches. It's just, it's part of it. So it's like one of the big ones, but the one I talk about more and is it's more debilitating is bipolar. I've been very open online about a lot of my mental illness stuff because it is bad. I really hate it though. I really hate that not that I talk about it, but that it's something that I have to talk about. Like, I would do anything to not be mentally ill, to not have to deal with this every day. Anyways, I've been very open about being bipolar because that's easier than going into the whole list because there's so fucking much. It's crazy. I've been very solid in that diagnosis for a long time, few years now. And I come from a long line of crazy bitches. My mom's side of the family, crazy. Love them though. They're just, mental illness is my birthright. Of course it's not just because of genetics. It's definitely, I haven't had the hardest life ever. There have been very insane hard moments. I've got some crazy lore. So it's definitely partially caused by trauma. I feel like I'm just saying a bunch of like buzzwords and I hate that. I'm working on rebuilding my relationship with a lot of these terms because I feel like on the internet now, the biggest one is triggered and trigger and like triggered and triggers. You know, it's especially being a middle schooler in 2016. It's, you know how like much it's been made into a fucking joke and like a cringe thing on the internet that it makes me feel like I sound like a pick-me or like I want to be mentally ill and I'm like faking it. Like, no, I don't, that's not me, dog. But I mean, I've even mentioned this to my therapist because we've gotten into conversation about some like triggers, and I don't know, it is a term and a tool to communicate the things that affect me, and in a simple, not quite how they affect me, but it kind of how, you know, you get like an idea. If someone's like, oh, this is like triggering, you kind of have a vague idea of how it's like, you know, how that might be affecting them, though of course there's a million different ways that triggers affect people. Anyways, I've been very, very comfortable in my bipolar diagnosis. It sucks. My mom's got her laundry list of diagnoses, but bipolar has been very strong in the family. And so I was it was comforting in a way. It wasn't comforting, it was comforting to know it wasn't just me. Though being raised by a bipolar mother is an experience. I love her though. I mean, I love my parents. They did their best. I know they did their best. There are such valuable moments and things I've been taught by them. I just think they've also really, really done me bad a lot of the time. I have so much empathy for them, for who they are as people. Like, just for their existence and who they are. I have so much empathy. And I have so much anger for the things they have done wrong during my childhood, to the really fucked up things that have happened. I have so much anger for those, but it's the duality of having so much empathy for them, because neither of my parents have gone through very easy lives. They've both had pretty tough ones. And, you know, I think, I don't know. It's conflicting. It's a very conflicting feeling. Sorry, I'm rambling. This is not even making sense, is it? While I was at therapy, my therapist, she looked at me and went, you know, I'm gonna ask you this or suggest this or it was something around these words. I'm never gonna get the phrasing right. If I had considered that maybe I have borderline, or BPD, borderline personality disorder, which felt like a gut punch. Which, maybe that's bad, maybe that's wrong, maybe I shouldn't have felt that way, I don't know. But it did. Nothing wrong with her. I'm glad she said it, because we went into conversation more of why, about these like splits, like splitting and that kind of stuff, because I've been doing some pretty cuckoo crazy stuff, and it's not good, because I've been going bonkers and fucking up my life. It's bad. It's really bad. I'm actually really humiliated about a lot of my own actions. But I don't think she's wrong. But I don't think it's not like she's diagnosing me. She's just suggesting it, I guess, so I can think about it. But it was like a gut punch. I think she could see my face go. But it makes me sad. Because I know that there's already so much wrong with me, and like issues I do have. Like, I'm so aware how difficult I am to be around, which sucks. I hate it. I'm working on it, but I can be very lovely, and I'm very caring, and I think I can be a really good friend, and I think I can be really good. I want to be good. I want to be a good girl. It's just, I'm working towards not having these really bad, difficult moments. But I know people leave often because of these difficult moments. And even when it feels like it's out of my control and I can't help it, and it's not even me doing the thing, it's not even me making the choice. It's like I'm outside of my body and it's just not stopping. That doesn't change the fact that it's my own actions. Which sucks. But I try to and want to live by how everything is a two-way street. Though this year, there's been two very, very big events that have been, I need to sit and accept that, you know what happened wasn't okay and is not my fault. one, I mean, there's the obvious one, which that one is still definitely more of a two-way street thing. Objectively, what happened was not my fault or wrong. Like, I was not in the wrong. But factoring in so many things with that one. The other one that was very, like, nothing's black and white, but it was getting to the point where I didn't do anything to deserve the stuff with my sister. I never did. We've quarreled, we've had bad fights, but I would never do the things she did to me, to her. I would never do that. I would never say the things that she has said to me, to her. I just wouldn't. It was crazy. And it was something that has really affected me badly. Like, bad. The people in my life were really scared. I was scared. But the people in my life were scared because I wasn't doing okay. Because my sister was getting married. And there's so much more context to this. But she was getting married, and we've had very big issues where she hasn't really spoken to me in 3 years. And every time she has, she's told me how horrible I am and I'm a bad person. And she told me how she wishes I was never born. And just a lot of shit. It's years and years and years of stuff. But one of these times, she had provoked an argument that turned into a panic attack, and I've been at a point where these panic attacks get real suicidal, and it's spooky, but I ended up getting hospitalized, whatever. I call my mom while I'm in the hospital, and I'm talking to her, and I'm like, I had been writing everything I could think down about my sister in this moment, because going up to the wedding was fucking scary. It was scary. It felt like I was waiting for doomsday. Like, every day I watched the countdown clock. Like, I was watching the countdown every morning when I woke up. Like, I could see it go down. It was strangely cinematic. But it was a lot. I wasn't doing okay. I was really scary, and I was scared of myself. And sorry, trigger warning. I was gonna kill myself. Like, I was literally going to kill myself. I had a plan. I've written many of notes, but I had written like the note, and I was gonna do it. So it was a bad time. But while I'm on the phone with my mom while I'm in the hospital, I had went, well, I'm on the phone, I'm not going to be able to go to the wedding, am I? Or like, it's not going to be a good idea for me to go to the wedding, is it? You know, something like that. And my sister had sent my mom a text while I'm in the hospital going, make sure Miranda knows that she is uninvited, that she isn't just choosing not to go, she's not being the bigger person. It was something around those lines. My mom won't actually show me the text, so I assume it's worse. But she had told me about it after I'd gotten out. But, you know, I'm in the fucking mental hospital, and she texts my mom. Make sure Miranda knows she's not being the bigger person, that she's uninvited. And it's like, do you think that's really an appropriate thing to say right now? Do you think it is appropriate to text? I know that it's her mom, obviously, but it's also like, it's my mom. And can you imagine going, hey, mom, how about it felt insulting, but it's also such a strange thing to say to a woman who, none of us have ever been in a mental hospital before. I'd been scaring the fuck out of my parents for months now, and I don't mean to, but I'm scary right now and I hate it. But, you know, this is a lot. This had to have been a lot for her, and I don't know how you could go, this is the right time to say something weird and petty. it was inappropriate and unnecessary, and crazy immature. It was so petty. In fact, it was my entire life. I'm really easy to blame for things because of how mentally ill I am. I always get blamed for things, which some things are definitely my fault, and I will admit that. But it's really easy to just brush things off and blame them on me, and my parents normally almost never would take my side, like basically never. That though, for the first time, it's taken years, but for the first time, Grace sent that text, and they reacted in a strangely, like, on my side, where they were like, dude, what the fuck? I don't know if I've talked about this in a video before. Apparently my mom had looked at my dad and went, that's gotta be your kid, because I don't know how a child of mine could do this and be so, like, unempathetic, whatever the right word is. Obviously these aren't the exact words. It's been a little while and my brain's always fuzzy, but it had kind of stopped everybody in their tracks, because it just was so inappropriate and so petty from a grown adult who's about to get married. You know, that's such a big, it feels like it's a very big adult mature thing to do, because it's a big serious fucking move. It's a serious decision, and it literally changes your life. And I don't know, it's something that you would think, obviously this isn't the case, but you would think is something you wait till you're mature. It was just, it kind of left everybody just rattled, because the whole thing was a lot, but then it's like, you know, they just watched their daughter get handcuffed and put into the back of a cop car because of a suicidal meltdown. For the first time, I'd never been hospitalized before. I've had these meltdowns many of times, but, you know, I feel horrible about it. But I don't know, it was crazy. How do you say that? How do you fucking say that? What the fuck has to be wrong with your head? Is that me being dramatic? I don't know, it just felt really fucking wrong. Anyways, I get out of the hospital, there's more of this shit, and I'm just counting down the days, literally every day having these weird flashes of, like, fucked up suicidal thoughts and, like, images, and it was bad. So I'm freaking out. I'm scaring everybody. Like, my therapist was like, girl, I'm scared. Like, are you going to be okay? Even, like, my dad, who is not that type of person, we do not have conversations like that, sat me down and he was like, well, I'm nervous. Like, are you going to be okay? And I was like, you know, I don't know. It was a very isolating day. But hey, I survived. Maybe this is so stupid. I don't know. Tell me if I just sound like a whiny teenager. Because I don't know if this is dumb. There's so much more that's happened. There are so many more hurtful things that she has said and she has done. It all stems, well, obviously from childhood, but one big event was I went through a very traumatic event with a very bad friendship breakup, and I asked her to come sit with me for 5 minutes. And she screamed at me, told me I was selfish and childish, and how dare I ask her to come sit with me for 5 minutes when she gets off work because she's tired from work. She knew this friendship. She knew how important it was. It was fucked up. I don't know. That's not what we were raised on. We were not raised on that. We were not raised to be like that. Of course, I have empathy and I understand being tired and exhausted, but it was one of those where it's like, I don't know, I'm your sister, and we were close. I wouldn't be who I am without her. I wouldn't even know what I wanted to do in life without her. I don't know if I would have ever found that love for storytelling if we didn't make those fucking pony videos, you know? God, I don't know if I've recorded this before. I feel like I maybe have. This is stupid. This doesn't matter. This is so stupid. I feel so stupid. I don't know. It was weird and it was sad and I wasn't doing great. But I don't know what my point was there. Maybe I just have to hard switch topics because I have no idea what I was trying to get to there. I just started like trauma dumping about Grace. My sister, I started trauma dumping about my sister. What else was I gonna say? I guess we'll be right back. Am I gonna listen to these videos? No. I'm just gonna, I guess, collect my thoughts.